What's up, everybody? David Delano here with picksandparlays.net. I've got two Major League Baseball matchups that I've taken a close look at for this Monday, August 24th, and I'm going to give you my best bets for each of them. We're talking about the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Seattle Mariners, and we also have the Tampa Bay Rays going up against the Detroit Tigers. I've been profitable in Major League Baseball since joining Picks and Parlays back in 2022. And today we're going to look beyond who's just the better team in these matchups. We're going to look at the pitching matchups, recent form numbers, and what I think is most important to identify where the value is. Picksandparlays.net, powered by Wager Talk. And you guys go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Definitely would appreciate it. Let's go ahead and start off with the game here between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Seattle Mariners. You see the numbers here. Minus 123 for the Phillies. He's risking 123 to profit 100. Mariners, you risk 100. You could profit 102. 73-58 on the season for the Phillies. Mariners 62-69. The Philadelphia Phillies pretty comfortable in a postseason position right now. 3 games behind Atlanta for the division lead. They're not a sure thing lock, but if they keep playing the way that they're playing, I think we're all expecting the Phillies, barring a collapse, to be in the postseason. Now, Seattle in a much more desperate situation. The Mariners are 3 games out of a wild card spot, but there are 4 teams sitting ahead of them for that final position. So the margin for error getting extremely thin for the Mariners. On the mound, we've got Zach Wheeler going for Philadelphia. And assuming everything stays on schedule, looks like Logan Gilbert for Seattle. Now, I'm recording this a little more than 24 hours before game time to let you guys know. When you look at Zach Wheeler, 10-4 with the 2.98 earned run average on the season, and Gilbert 10-7 with a 3.35 earned run average. On the surface, this sounds like a classic pitcher's duel, and we have a low total right now at the time recording on DraftKings at 6.5. But I'm not so convinced that we get a pitcher's duel in this matchup. Looking a little deeper here, Zach Wheeler's numbers overall have been outstanding, but he is carrying a 5.19 earned run average during the month of August. Much different than what he's done for the entire season. We look at Logan Gilbert. He hasn't exactly been unbeatable either. He's coming into this game in better form than Wheeler, but he's allowed at least 3 earned runs in 5 of his last 7 starts. And that's important when we look at a total of 6.5, because if both teams can just get to 3 runs here, the under cannot cash. You're looking at this, you're seeing 2 good pitchers. Games in Seattle should be a low-scoring game, but I think sometimes the number gets a little bit too low. The over is hit in 6 of Philadelphia's last 8 games, and for Seattle, the over's hit in 8 out of their last 9. And while Seattle's coming off of an ugly 9-2 loss, they have shown the ability to put runs on the board recently. In Philadelphia, they've scored at least 4 runs now in 9 straight games. So you got 2 offenses that have been producing and 2 pitchers who have shown some vulnerability recently. A total of 6.5. Gilbert has not been as strong in Seattle. Total's too low for me. I'm going to go ahead and take the over the total in this game between the Phillies and the Mariners to get things started for this Monday, August 24th. And also invite you guys over to picksandparlays.net, where you guys can get my top plays each and every day. Thanks so much for everybody who's been watching the videos, everyone who watched the Titans and Seahawks video and everything else, comments and all of that. That game's not over at the time of recording. It did pass on the premium picks on Sunday. A rare pass for me, but we did cash on our best bet in the NFL on Saturday night, as we had over the total in the game between the Cowboys and the Cardinals. There's going to be a lot more NFL content coming up. Guys, want to check out anything on picksandparlays.net, whether it's myself or anybody else on the site, go ahead and use that promo code PNP25. Guys can also check out right now, full into the Major League Baseball season, every play that I have for college and the NFL the entire season. Check it out on picksandparlays.net under my profile. All right, moving along here, we're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Rays and the Detroit Tigers. Rays taking some money early, opened up about minus 131. At the time recording, minus 144. We'll see if that climbs more or not. You got Drew Rasmussen expected to start for Tampa Bay, Framber Valdez expected to go for Detroit. And honestly, when I look at these two teams, which side is the easier one to trust? You look at Rasmussen, who's been outstanding since the All-Star break. Tampa Bay 6-0 in his starts since then, 13-5, 3.01 earned run average. Now, one thing that does jump out, active Detroit batters are hitting 391 against him, but I'm not going to put a ton of weight in that as he hasn't faced Detroit this season. He hasn't faced the Tigers since 2024, and a lot of those previous appearances were out of the bullpen, short short outing. So when I look at this, Framber Valdez has been more inconsistent overall, coming off of two shaky starts. Detroit's 5-7 in his last 12 starts, and it's really hard to trust the Tigers here. Tampa Bay, they're simply the better team. And I know that when we're looking at these numbers, it comes into more than just wagering on the better team, as I was telling you guys with the Dodgers we were talking about the other day. But how much juice is too much? Well, overall, if you just blindly bet every team every game, Tampa Bay has been the third most profitable team in all of Major League Baseball, while Detroit has been the fifth least profitable. So we've had a team from wire to wire with the Rays who've been undervalued, have been underpriced by the market, and they've been putting money in bettors' pockets. The Tigers have had some stretches here and there, but overall, shaky season. I trust Rasmussen. I trust the Rays, even though this game's at Comerica Park in Detroit. I trust them more than I trust Valdez and the Tigers. So we're going to go ahead and take the Rays on the money line, minus 144. And also on this one early, we're going to go over 6.5 in the game between the Phillies and the Mariners. Don't really care who's pitching in that one. I think that the total is too low. Do have more plays up, available on picksandparlays.net. Also, another video that's going to be up on this channel. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. That way you never miss a video when it drops. Also, you guys can follow me over on X and Instagram at Get Sports Strong. Definitely appreciate it as you guys are approaching this season. Always just if you do want to wager, make sure that you have a bankroll. Never go all in on one play. It's really about the entire body of work. And if you're playing every day, you're playing hundreds of picks, you're playing thousands of picks, there's always going to be losing streaks. No one wants to talk about the 5-7 game losing streak that's going to happen to anybody. Just like you look through the Major League Baseball season, even the best teams have those losing spells, and you don't want to have your bankroll wiped up. So don't get too high, don't get too low. Stay responsible, man. One thing about me, I really want to help people try to turn this into an investment, and not be degenerate gamblers. But at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want to do, and I'm happy that you made it to this point of the video if you did, because you didn't have to. God bless. I do appreciate it. Go ahead and leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one.